For over a decade, a murderous nightmare had the city of Baton Rouge and the surrounding area in Louisiana in a chokehold. During the time span of 1992 to 2004, more than 36 women were killed at the time by unknown attackers. I can't imagine the fear that women felt during this time, the need to constantly be watching your back. And I'm sure during this time, dozens of women were going to self-defense classes. But during this time, no one realized that there was more than one killer prowling the streets of Baton Rouge. I'm your host, Scoot, and along with
Hatter,
and welcome to Investigation. I feel the need to go ahead and put a trigger warning here, guys, for ya. We're getting into some deep, dark stuff involving sexual assault, cannibalism.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared.
I wasn't prepared either.
So yeah, trigger warning for that as well.
She told me, she said, hey, just so you know, I've got to put a trigger warning this next episode. And I said, that's fair. You know, it's weird because we do talk a lot about dark stuff, but like when stuff gets dark, you still want to let people know. She didn't tell me that it was about cannibalism. And so I was entirely unprepared for that aspect of it. So it's like, I was like, oh my God. Like, I mean, unfortunately, when we talk about serial killers, more often than not, there is sexual assault involved.
Yes.
So you said that, and I was like,
that's
unfortunately makes sense. But yeah, I was not. So I apologize too, because I just wasn't expecting that.
And necrophilia.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It got worse.
Okay.
Trying to think if there's anything else to include in that. I think that about probably covers our basis.
Okay. All right. I also feel like I need to make a note, because I've talked about it a while ago, but like we've been getting a lot of new listeners, which is super cool and stuff. So I talked with my therapist about it, because I was like, why do I laugh sometimes at stuff that I shouldn't laugh at?
It's like a nervous laugh.
Kind of, but she was like, I think it's that you laugh at the absurdity of it. Like something is so far outside of my own thinking, like I can't even imagine thinking like that it causes me to laugh because I'm like, that's just absurd.
Ah, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. I was like, okay, so I'm not like crazy or insensitive or something like that, because it makes sense.
So we're going to start with Derek Todd Lee. Derek Todd Lee was born November 5th, 1968 in St. Francisville, Louisiana, to Samuel Ruth and Florence Lee. Now, Derek Lee was in a dysfunctional and abusive home. Now, according to WAFB, which is a television station in Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Just to clarify.
Right.
Lee's attorneys also said that Lee's biological father had bipolar disorder and psychosis and was mostly out of the picture in his and his siblings' lives. And some sources also said that his father may have been admitted into a psychiatric institution. Now, at 3 years old, his stepfather would reportedly beat him as his mother merely watched.
Jesus Christ.
I know, off the bat.
Off the bat.
Now, I don't have children, but I couldn't imagine, if this is true, if, you know, just sitting there and watching as my husband is beating my child.
Right.
Absolutely not. But unfortunately, school was no better for Lee. His classmates would mock him for being in special needs classes.
This is always one of those situations. I'm assuming by you saying, if that's true about his mom watching, that he is one of the killers we're going to be talking about today.
Yes.
Okay. It's always one of those situations where it's like, you always feel so bad for the kid.
But not the adult.
But not the adult.
Yes. Now, the Radford University Department of Psychology reports, they did like a report on like him, like his timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they report that he would call his teacher mama and suck his thumb.
Oh.
Yeah. And because of this...
How old was he at this time?
He was somewhere, I don't have an exact age, but he was somewhere between the age of 3 and 13 years old.
Oh, okay. So, like, at 3, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, that's weird.
Yes.
At 13, that's definitely...
Getting into the older age. Yeah, somewhere in
Right.
that range. I couldn't tell you an exact age, but somewhere around there.
Okay.
And unfortunately, because of this, his classmates would call him a slur that meant mentally challenged, if you
Right, yeah.
get what I'm trying to say, as a means to make fun of him.
Gotcha.
Now, again, according to Radford University, Lee began exhibiting behaviors which would include physically harming animals, and peeping through windows.
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
And at age 13, Lee was arrested for vandalizing and the I can't even say it.
Burglary.
Thank you. I'm not even going to say it.
I'm not even going to say it.
Not even going to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Burglary of...
A candy store.
Gotcha. Also, if you're going to rob somewhere, a candy store? Well, I guess he was 13.
He's 13, so...
Yeah, makes sense, actually.
Now, a couple sources did say that at 16, he pulled a knife on another teen during a fight.
That's cool.
Now, he was arrested for second-degree murder, but was released because the other child was not harmed.
Oh.
Now, he may have set his car on fire for insurance money. That's a possibility.
Cool.
On several occasions, police arrested him for, I forget, this is another term, it's the same as peeping. It starts with a V. Hold on.
Voyeurism?
Yes, thank you. So he was arrested on that for a couple of those. Stalking and burglary charges.
There you go.
Here it came out. Now, I will talk about, like, a couple specific incidences of this, like, a little bit later on.
Okay.
Now, after Lee dropped out of high school after completing the 11th grade, he continued to live with his mother. And it is noted that he seemed to become more combative towards her, which I assume that probably just links back to his younger years.
Yeah.
You know. Now, in September 1988, he married Jacqueline Denise Sims. They had 2 children. Now, the couple was not married long. They got divorced in 1989.
Okay.
Because Lee was abusive and actually threatened her father with a gun.
Oh.
Yes. Now, he did not serve any time for that.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. Go ahead.
I want, like, my sister does the social media sometimes for us. She does the social media for us. And she said, I want to take all of your guys' O's and, like, make just a video of them. And I just realized how you, like, said the one thing and I was like, oh. And then you said the other thing and I was like, oh. I was like, that's actually pretty fair.
Now, in the same year, Lee started a fist fight at a bar in St. Francisville. Now, police would arrest him for disturbing the peace.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the courts actually set him up with therapy, but he never went to the appointments.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to do that.
Well, no, but you're not...
You're not supposed to do that.
Oh. Now, throughout the years, Lee worked various, like, blue-collar jobs, like a pipe fitter, cement truck driver, as, like, a couple of examples. He also held jobs at, like, major plants, which include Exxon and then Formosa Plastics.
Okay.
Now, I do want to mention here that he was arrested November 1992 for a home burglary. For
a home robbery.
Thank you. For a home robbery. He was sentenced to 4 years in East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, and that was in July 1993, but he only served 2 years out of the 4.
Oh.
Before being released in 1995.
Did they say why?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I assume maybe, like, good behavior or something.
Sometimes also, like, if it's starting to get overcrowded, they'll release those who have, like, lesser charges.
Yeah, I assume it was something like that. Now, in September 1995, Lee was arrested on a peeping offense in Lake Charles. Lake Charles is not far from Baton Rouge, by the way. Now, the charge did not result in a conviction. It was resolved with an unsupervised probation.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have somebody who's repeatedly doing this offense, and you're just like, will just give him a supervised probation.
Well, some of my sources say he had like a charm to him. He had a way of kind of talking out of things. So I'm assuming that kind of has a play in that.
A part of it. But still, like, you can look and see that this guy already has a rap sheet.
Yeah. Now, again, this is according to Radford University. September 24th, 1995, Lee was arrested for robbing a Salvation Army clothes drop-off.
Oh.
Yep. And January 14th, 1998, Lee pled guilty to 6 counts of peeping.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. And this is where he was sentenced to 2 years of probation.
What the fuck? This dude has been in multiple burglaries at this point, and multiple cases of peeping and voyeurism. And they're just like, just give him some probation. I get that it's not like, I guess, the worst charge in the world, but it shows a pattern.
There's a pattern. I know. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Now that I've kind of talked about that history, between the years of 1998 and 2003, Lee was on a killing spree.
Oh.
Yes. I'll go through the timeline and the victims. Now, this one has never been proven, but it's thought that Lee's first victim was Connie Warner. She was 41 years old and an accountant. Connie Warner had vanished from her home on August 22nd, 1992. Now, Connie lived in Zachary, Louisiana, which is around 20 minutes from Baton Rouge.
Okay.
Now, it is believed that Lee had also lived in the area at that time.
Now, how old was he at this point?
At this point, he would be... Let me do some math here. Give me 1 second. Math time. We always say picture time. It's math time.
It's math time.
He would have been about 24 at this point.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a lot of charges that he's accumulated already.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to get back to my spot here.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Now, 2 weeks later, her body was actually found near the state capitol building.
Oh.
Yes. Unfortunately, Hurricane Andrew had hit Baton Rouge on August 26, 1992. So this would have destroyed, like, literally any evidence that they could have gotten from her. She had been severely beaten, and the cause of death was a skull fracture.
Jeez.
Like I said, this is just the supposed. This isn't even, like, the first confirmed.
Right. Is it because they couldn't get any evidence that it wasn't confirmed, but, like, he said he did it and they just still, or was it like they just believe it in general?
They had honestly, so this next point here, the Zachary police had suspected him like immediately from the beginning.
Oh.
But due to lack of physical evidence, this prevented them from like arresting him or doing anything of that nature.
Gotcha.
So they had already suspected him, but it's because there was no physical evidence.
Right. Yeah, you can't do too much, unfortunately.
Yes. Now we're going to jump to April 18th, 1998. Randy Mebrower. She was a home health nurse. Lee abducted her while her 3-year-old son slept in his bedroom.
Oh my God.
Now, detectives found blood throughout her home, which was ironically about a block away from Connie Warner's house. Now, they may have found a garbage bag that had semen. I only found one source that stated this, though. But her body has never been found.
So then, did he say that he was?
I believe there was DNA at the scene.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, how did they connect him?
I believe it was DNA at the scene.
Okay.
Now, on September 24th, 2001, 40-year-old Gina Wilson Green, who was a nurse, she was found dead in her home on Stanford Avenue, that's near Louisiana State University, so LSU.
Okay.
Now, Gina was found in her bed, and a struggle seemed to have started in the hallway, like going to her bedroom. Now, it's noted in a court document that there was fecal matter stains. Not sure.
Okay.
Yeah. A clump of hair, and Gina's earrings were scattered across the floor.
Okay.
Her shoes were also found in different rooms. I assume he...
Just for the listeners, I made a face like, what?
Yeah, she's very confused. Well, I'll just continue. The autopsy showed that she was raped and strangled.
Okay.
So I assume during the struggle...
Things got thrown around,
Yes.
maybe. Well, because my first thought, I was like, did he, like, wear them?
Did he wear them?
If they're all found in, like, different rooms, I was like... But, I mean, I'm just a messy person. Like, I take my shoes off anywhere. But, yeah, if she was, like, grabbed and dragged or something, and one of her shoes fell off here, and then the other one fell off somewhere else, that makes a lot more sense.
Yes. Now, Gina's shorts, as well as her purse and cell phone, were missing from the home.
Her shorts?
Her shorts.
Oh.
Yes. Now, her things were found later on behind a warehouse on Choctaw Street in Baton Rouge. Yes.
Why did he take them? If he was just gonna, like, at first I was like, that's a weird souvenir, but he didn't even take it as a souvenir. He just tossed it somewhere else.
Who knows? I don't know. But police also found a kitchen towel that appeared to come from the home as well there in that area. I'm not sure.
That maybe he grabbed to, like, clean himself up.
Off? That's what I was thinking.
But shorts and her cell phone is a little weird. And then just to toss.
And just to toss it, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to begin to try to understand their psyche, but just weird.
Now, on January 14th, 2002, Geraldine DeSoto was 21 years old and an LSU student. Darren DeSoto found his wife, Geraldine, lying in a pool of blood in their home in Baton Rouge. She was stabbed multiple times and beaten. Her throat was slashed.
So he's also changing his MO.
Yes.
So that also makes it harder to track down the guy or connect them together.
Yes. There was DNA underneath her fingernails.
Okay, that doesn't make it as hard.
No. During the initial investigation, of course, they're going to look at husband, but...
Right, but then it's not his DNA. And...
Yes. 22-year-old Charlotte Marie Pace, who had recently graduated from LSU and was one of the youngest students to receive a Master of Business Administration.
Ooh, look at her go.
I know. Now, she continued her graduate work with LSU, like an association.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on May 31st, 2002, Charlotte was found at her apartment in Baton Rouge by her roommate. The roommate's name was Rebecca Yeager. Charlotte was laying on the floor between the bedroom door and the bed. Blood was on the furniture, all over the floor. The bed was made, but the bedspread was blood-soaked.
Oh.
Yes.
So maybe, like, she's, I'm assuming, on top of it, but even for it to still be made, if there was some type of struggles.
The fact that he made it.
Remade the bed.
Yeah. Now, blood was later found in the kitchen and in the hallway. The autopsy said that Charlotte was raped, stabbed 81 times.
I need to, like, I feel like I need to put in perspective. It takes so much to stab somebody.
It takes a lot of force.
Right. Yeah. It's not just like a knife into butter type of thing.
No.
And then to furthermore stab them 81 times?
81 times. Now, it is noted that there was like 2 different types of stab wounds. One was very clearly like a knife, but then like it's split in half. So like the other, like a 40-some, was more blunt, almost like a screwdriver.
Oh.
Yeah.
Something that's gonna like tear.
Yeah.
And not slice.
Yeah, it was something more blunt.
Jesus. Which is even worse, because that even takes more effort.
Force, yeah. And she was also bludgeoned with an iron.
Oh my God.
She had defensive injuries, so very obviously she had tried to fight off her attacker.
I hope she ripped his shit up.
I hope so, too.
Obviously, Geraldine did, because she had DNA under her fingernails.
Now, in July 9th, 2002, Diane Alexander, who was also a nurse, who was attacked in her home in Breaux Bridge, which that's about 49 minutes away from Baton Rouge. Now, Diane told police a black man knocked on her door and asked to use her phone, claiming he was lost. He then forced his way in after he found out her husband was not home and attempted to rape her. What?
There's a spider on the bed.
Oh, I can't help you there, bro. No.
It's very small.
No, I can't do it.
Sorry, buddy.
He's like, what the
There's no longer a spider on the bed.
There's no longer a spider on the bed. Do you just want me to repeat?
Yeah, because I definitely missed that last sentence. There was a spider. I'm so sorry.
The spider, it's okay. So he forced his way in after he found out her husband was not home. And then he attempted to rape her. But he could not maintain an erection. So he beat her and tried to strangle her with a telephone cord.
Jesus Christ.
Now, Lee had fled after Nyan's college-age son arrived at the home. Now, she survived the attack. Her eyes were swollen shut. She had head cuts and a puncture wound in one arm.
Oh.
Now, she was able to help police develop a composite sketch of her attacker. Now, her son got a look at the car before he had made his way inside the home, which that was a gold Mitsubishi Eclipse with a Hampton Hazard plate on the front. Now, July 12th, 2002, Pam Kinnamore, now she owned the Comforts and Joys Antique Shop in Denham Springs.
Okay. Owning an antique shop,
I know,
would be such a vibe.
I agree. Now, that's about, again, 20 minutes from Baton Rouge.
So he's just outside of, like,
Generally,
Baton Rouge.
That's where he's striking.
Right.
Her husband arrived home. He found a full bathtub, spots of blood on the bedroom rug, their furniture was disheveled, and Pam was missing with no signs of forced entry. Now, 3 days later, her body was found near Whiskey Bay, which is off of, like, Interstate 10, 30 miles from Baton Rouge. Her throat was slit, and she was strangled with a telephone cord. And it was later confirmed that it was the same telephone cord from the previous.
So he just took it with him?
Yep.
What the fuck?
He had, like, cut it and took it with him.
Jesus.
Now, she had defensive injuries as well. DNA had been taken, and it was matched to the attacker of Gina Green and Charlotte Pace. So they already now know
that they're connected
They're
together.
connected. November 21st, 2002, Trinisha Colum, she was 23 years old, and she was a soldier in the Army. Her car, purse, and keys were found in Grand Coteau, which is near a cemetery where her mother was buried just 7 months ago. So it seems that she was either visiting her mother or was wrapping up her visit when Lee showed up.
Gotcha.
2 days later, her body was found by a hunter in a field off a remote road in Scott, Louisiana. Now, she died from blunt force trauma to the head and had been raped. DNA was once again taken, and it was matched to the same attacker. Now, it is noted that she was the first black victim, while the other ones have been white.
Okay.
March 3rd, 2003, 26-year-old Carrie Lynn Yoder was a biological science graduate student from LSU.
Okay.
Now, she had been taken from her apartment. 10 days later, on March 13th, her body was found in Whiskey Bay, which was not far from the area which Pam Kinnamore was found. Carrie had been beaten, raped, and strangled to death.
It does feel like he found his MO a little bit. He started strangling them, then he went and he stabbed, I think, 2 of the victims?
I believe 2, yes.
Yeah. And now he's back to
strangling
them again.
Yes. And again, same thing happened, where DNA was matched to the same attacker. Now, these are the confirmed and the one suspected victims of Lee.
Right.
But investigators believe that there could be as many as 17 to even 21 victims.
Jesus.
I mean, especially, the times, like, between victims
were pretty long.
Yes.
Right. And that's actually something I'm actually going to cover in my case, too, is because, like, there's a weird gaps between.
Yeah.
With yours, it just makes people be like, there's probably more out there. I mean, the one victim you said you haven't even found yet, or they haven't found her body yet.
They didn't find her body.
So it does show that there probably is a few more women who have lost their lives to him.
Yes.
Which sucks. I don't know, obviously, what his state is at now. Like, I don't know if he's passed away or if he's still alive, if he's in jail. Hopefully they're able to figure it out and be able to lay any others, give them the proper piece that it would be needed. But, yeah.
Now, something I kind of noticed, and I don't know if it's coincidence or not, but it just seems like most of these women, like, what I would call, like, doing well for themselves, like, they had jobs or they owned shops. I don't know if, like I said, if that's coincidence or if that was just his...
It was probably part of his thing.
Yeah. Now, an FBI profile suggested that the suspect was likely to be a white man between the ages of 25 to 35. But a Florida forensics lab, that took me a minute to say, but I got there. I got it. Now, they notified police that the forensic evidence that they had collected likely came from a black man. Now, this was concluded through what was at the time groundbreaking, forensic DNA testing to determine and estimate biogeographic ancestry.
Gotcha. Well, and I was going to say, it's not surprising that they kind of assumed it would be a white man because most serial killers are white men. So I'm sure that it's just natural to be like, well, this is who we're probably looking for.
Yeah.
But that is cool that they were able to have some groundbreaking DNA testing.
Mm-hmm. So now with that information, investigators were now looking closer at the attack of Diane Alexander, who had not been at the time linked to the same attacker as the murders.
Right.
Now with the composite sketch and the description of the car that they had gotten, they were now looking at Derek Todd Lee. Now, ironically, it was Zachary Police Department and Louisiana Attorney General's Office. Now, they were working on the murder of Connie Warren and the disappearance of Randy, who we spoke about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They ironically obtained a subpoena to obtain DNA swabbings from Lee, and this was in May 5th, 2003.
Oh.
Now, of course, his DNA was a match, and now before Lee's identity was made public, the task force ironically emailed a photographic lineup of 6 individuals to Diane Alexander. One of the photographs was of Lee, and immediately Diane picked out Lee as her assailant.
Yeah.
Now, when police went to Lee's home to arrest him, they found that he fled the state.
Oh.
Yeah. It was on May 26, 2003 that they chose to release Lee's identity as the serial killer. And it was May 27th, 2003, Lee was arrested in Atlanta, Georgia.
Damn.
Mm-hmm. Now, at that time, he had been staying at a motel, and he was working jobs for cash. Now, it is noted that he did not resist arrest. Now, even though his DNA was linked to at least 7 cases, he was only tried for the second-degree murder of Geraldine DeSoto and the first-degree murder of Charlotte Pace. Now, I'm assuming they were pursuing the cases that had the strongest evidence against him.
Right. That's what they'll do a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, we know we can get him on these 2, but if we start to introduce ones that are a little less for sure, it can actually hurt the case for the majority. So they'll just try to pin him down with a few.
Yeah. And honestly, if you look at the 2 of them, they're a little similar. They were both LSU students and died in similar manners. They were the 2 that died from stabbing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did find an article that stated that Lee's defense tried to use the claim of his family having a history of mental problems.
Oh, here we go.
The defense claimed that Lee needed to be tested by a clinical psychologist, and they used the claim that his father and 2 aunts suffered from bipolar disorder and psychosis, conditions that they claimed that can be passed down.
Which is true, but, once again, the way that the justice system categorizes an actual, insane deal or insanity plea is not just having a mental disorder.
Yeah, they also said that these conditions could impair Lee's ability to know right and wrong.
I mean, if a psychologist sat down with him and said, yeah, he can't tell what he was doing, but you can already tell within his actions that he could, because 1, he literally fled the state. He knew that what he did was wrong. Yes. That alone shows that he's not he doesn't qualify for an insanity plea.
Yeah, which I actually have noted that, we kind of know better. We know better.
Right.
It is noted that I guess they did an IQ test on him, and his score was 65.
Oh.
And now, depending on what source, you use, anything under 70 is considered mild intellectual impairment.
Right, which does make sense because he was also severely beaten as a child. That doesn't mean, though, that he knows right from, or he doesn't know right from wrong.
Yeah. This defense, fell through.
Makes sense.
You know.
I'm not saying that I'm a lawyer or anything like that, but, like, it makes sense.
Now, Lee had pleaded innocent to the charges. He maintained his innocence.
That's a bold thing to do.
It's a little bit of a bold thing to do. Now, the first trial was for Geraldine DeSoto. It lasted 3 days. Now, during this trial, Diane Alexander did testify. Actually, she testified for both of them, but I'm making... Yes, I am making a note of the first one because it's something that happened.
Right.
Now, she did state to Lee, "While my eyes were closed, I did not forget your face." Diane also stated, "I did feel good he's caught because had he not been, he'd probably still be out on a killing spree."
Mm-hmm.
Now, after she stated this, Lee's attorneys asked for a mistrial. The defense attorney claimed that Diane had referenced to crimes that they were not supposed to mention in the trial.
Okay. I fucking hate the legal system sometimes, because I do get it that you're not supposed to do that. But also, this is just a witness statement. It's not like the other, like the prosecutors were bringing them up or anything like that.
Yes.
Like, ugh. But also, I just want to say, good for her for, like, because that had to have been fucking hard.
Oh, I'm sure. To
get up there and see him again.
See your attacker.
But I hope it was cathartic for her, too, to be like, I didn't fucking forget your face.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
Now, to kind of note, prosecutors were only allowed to use the evidence from Diane's case and then from only one of the other murders.
Mm-hmm.
Now, State District Judge Robin Free had rejected this motion.
Hell yeah.
Stating that Diane did not refer to a specific crime.
Of course. She didn't.
She didn't.
She just said killing spree.
Mm-hmm. Now, on August 10th, 2004, jury convicted him of second-degree murder, which they actually deliberated for less than 2 hours.
I'm surprised it even took that long.
Well, Now, this resulted in an automatic life sentence.
Good. I also feel like the jurors were probably like, we all think he's guilty, right? And everybody was like, yeah. And they're like, all right, let's have some drinks before going back in there.
Oh, shoot. Now, the second trial for Charlotte Pace, again, only lasted 3 days. On October 4th, 2004, Lee was convicted of first-degree murder, which resulted in being sentenced to death by lethal injection in December 2004. He would spend the rest of his days on death row at a maximum security Louisiana State Prison in Angola. He would file for appeal several times. He did once directly after his conviction, where his attorneys cited 32 assignments of error. No, I had to look this up.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, what?
I had to Google what this meant. Assignments of error are written statements submitted detailing the specific mistakes, legal missteps, or procedural and irregularity.
Irregularities.
Thank you. I can't speak today, guys.
It's okay.
One of those days. Made by the trial court judge.
Oh, so they were like, here's 32 times the court judge fucked up. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah.
Were any of them substantial?
No, okay. I don't think so. Because the Louisiana Supreme Court affirmed his conviction and sentence in 2008.
Good.
So.
Okay.
Now, Lee also filed for a state post-conviction relief. Now, this is a bit different than a direct appeal.
Okay.
Again, I had to do a little more research with this. A post-conviction relief is more of like a off-the-record or like new issues that could not have been fully explored during the trial where, direct appeal only looks at the evidence that was presented at the original trial.
Ah.
Yes. This was denied by a district judge in August 2014. He appealed this decision.
Okay.
And Louisiana Supreme Court rejected his petition in September 2015.
Okay.
So he fought hard.
Right. And, I don't care about him fighting hard, but in terms of his defense team fighting, I get it, because it's their job, so I'm not going to sit there and, rag on them. But sometimes it's kind of like, okay, just give up. You lost.
Oh, shoot. Now, it depends on how you look at things as to how what I'm about to tell you is going to make you feel. Lee would not live along enough for the state of Louisiana to carry out its sentence.
Oh.
On January 16, 2016, Lee was transferred to Lane Memorial Hospital in Zachary, Louisiana for emergency treatment. He died January 21st, 2016 at the age of 47 for heart disease.
Oh.
So, depending on how that kind of makes you feel.
Right. I know there's a lot of people out there who like look at this with that kind of viewpoint of like, if you want people to die, then you're no better than them. But in my personal opinion, I don't think that they should be alive if they are capable of doing things like this.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, and this is like, so, you know how I was like, ooh, I'm going to add this in here. This is an interesting little tidbit. I found an article that Diane Alexander, the survivor, tried to claim a $100,000 reward that Crime Stoppers was offering.
Okay.
So Crime Stoppers is an organization that usually offers cash rewards to get information on major crimes.
Uh-huh.
Now, Lafayette, Louisiana Crime Stoppers informed her that she was not eligible because she gave her information directly to the police and not the Crime Stoppers hotline.
Okay.
I know, I thought this was interesting. I was like, I'm just going to add this in here.
Right. Because that feels like kind of a backhanded slap to her. Because, like, why would she give it? She was attacked.
She herself was attacked.
Right. Like, why would she be like, you know what, just to make sure I get this money, let me go to Crime Stoppers first.
Yeah.
Like, she helped put somebody behind bars. Why wouldn't you be like, hell yeah, here's some money for giving us any type of inside scoop you could?
Yeah. So her and her son did sue for $150,000. The court did rule in favor of Crime Stoppers, again, because she gave her information directly to law enforcement and not them. But also, I guess it's noted that she also missed the August 1st, 2003 deadline to claim the reward. So
yeah, but for me, that's more of a morality thing on the Crime Stoppers part. It's like, I mean, do I think it's a little weird to sue them over that? Sure, but okay. But yeah, more like a morality thing. Like, you have somebody who's willing to talk to you and give her inside scoop for what she does know.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that could still be really good for your like publicity and stuff. Like, to have somebody who actually, because it wasn't like you're going to give me the information and I'm going to go to the police, right? It was like a reporting agency or like a journalistic agency.
Yeah. So I guess from my understanding, like, you call the hotline with your tips, and I guess from my understanding, maybe they would reach out to police with it. It's a little bit of a gray area, as I'm going to call it, because
then that just feels like they want the publicity of being able to turn in these tips to the police, if that's the case. And if they are just more of a journalistic agency, then like talking to somebody who survived the attack could still be really good for your publicity. So that just, I don't fully understand what they do, but like that just still feels like a very weird spot to put yourself in.
But it's also like she was also trying to go for the reward, so it's a little...
Right, it's all very weird.
It's a little bit of a strange situation. But
yeah.
I just happened to notice it, and I'm like, I guess I'm just going to kind of throw this in here.
Right.
But yeah, she was denied. But this is the case of Derek Todd Lee, who became known as the Baton Rouge Serial Killer, but he was not the only one.
Ooh.
And we're going to wrap up this episode on this end.
Oh, so part 2.
Part 2.
Okay. So keep an ear out for that, I guess.
Yes.
On Thursday. Hell yeah. Man, we got a lot of part 2s this month.
We got, yes.
Yeah, so my episodes before this were part 2s. My episodes after this are also part 2s. Or a 2-parter, I should say.
2-parter.
Because they're not each a part 2 of, there's part 1 and part 2. So yeah, all right, well, keep an ear out for that coming out this Thursday. If you like what you hear, and share it with a friend, share it with your coworkers, share it with your mother.
If you got any personal stories or anything, shoot us an email
at investigatingwithus@gmail.com. We do want to do some listener tales or something like that.
Yes, we'd love to do that.
Obviously, researching all these cases and stuff like that, it gets a little heavy. So it is nice sometimes to have a break. I know next month, I think I'm doing one. I already have it planned out. That's like going over some weird last meal requests of like death row inmates.
Yes.
So that's a little more lighthearted too. But we would love to sprinkle in some like listener episodes, or even if you have a case that you want us to cover, just send us an email and be like, hey, this would be cool. Or like if you know, like we haven't covered your state yet, you could be like, hey, when you get to Alabama, here's a case you could cover, whatever. Shoot us an email at investigatingwithus.com. And in the meantime, we hope you keep listening and we hope you keep investigating. Bye.
Bye.